All right, folks, welcome back to CB Rebuilds. As you can tell, I've got the Willys truck in the shop, and I'm actually tackling the windshield wipers today. I'm sorry for the noise. There's a fan. I also got a little AC unit running just to try to keep it a little cooler, keep the humidity down so my tools don't rust up. But been working kind of on the interior here. You can see I got the glove box door, and I got a glove box, and trying to finish up some things. Got some heater hoses too, and I can go into that if you guys would like. But my big thing was last time I kind of had this out in the fall, I didn't have windshield wipers to go through the mud, so that was fun. And then I also didn't have defrost, so I had the heater and it would just heat up everything, but then it would just steam up the windows even worse. So I want to make it so that I can run the heat directly on the windows, hopefully get that steam or frost and fog to burn off so that you can actually see. Also added my ram mount up here. It used to be right here in the windshield, vacuum windshield wiper control hole. I'm not sure if I can use that with my kit. I'm kind of thinking I won't be able to, but I'll bring you guys along. So I moved my ram mount up here so I can run my GPS. But let me catch you up to what I'm trying to do. So I've always had the wiper cable boxes from my truck, and so that used to work. You'd pull this cable and you can see that pulley kind of going around, and then the motor would pull it the other way, and there's a shaft that goes through here, and of course this used to be one piece. So I bought a kit from I think it's a group out of Georgia or South Carolina. I can't remember exactly. I'll show you guys that in a second. But it's a universal kit. It's got the tubes with the little metal springs that go through that, and it rotates, and then it drives the gears. But it's a universal kit, so it doesn't give you this nice piece of chrome and this nut here to tighten it all together. So I kind of thought that looked nice, or at least I thought it looks nice. Also gives it like a locating pin right here to hook it through the cowl so it stays in the right orientation. I had seen this online. Guy said go ahead and cut these off, and then we're going to grind these flat. So basically right down to this level right here, try to go all the way across, and that's what I'm working on right now. So we'll get that all ground down. You can see I got one in progress here, not quite flat, but we're getting close. And what we're going to do is we're going to take this hole right here and drill it out so they can go over this shaft. And I might even shorten this up some because I don't think it needs to be that long. Also, there's not that much room between the cowl and the dash, so I'm going to probably cut this down here in a little while. Cut it down, take one of these nuts. I'll bring you guys along for that too, but take one of these nuts, and after I get the other piece drilled out and slid down, I'll use a nut to jam it down, move this knurled part down here so we can hook the wiper blades on, and then we can hook this up. The group I bought the wipers from is Specialty Power Windows. I'm not saying that this is the kit you need to get. They send you all kinds of literature. I'll link it down below what I got. It's just a universal kit. I want to say it's a WWK2i, so I've got a 2-speed with an intermittent, so it's actually like a 3 selector switch. So that's what I want. What we're going to be doing is taking these aluminum tubes, cutting them to length, getting them mounted underneath the dash between those boxes, and then we bring one of them down, and the guy I saw before put it on the inside of the footwell over here on the passenger side, which seems like a good spot to me. We've already kind of got the blower motor over there, so we can probably just kind of come across the top over the blower motor and then down in this area and just mount that motor right up here, right below the blower motor, and it should be nice. I'm not going to go into every single detail on this because there's just a lot of little things that you might have to do on yours, but at least give you an idea on how to do it and where to start. So let me keep working on this and get some stuff kind of cleaned up, and I'll do a little bit better job explaining where we're at. Off, and then on the bottom of the piece that used to be part of the pulley box, we've got I don't know if you guys can see it, but see I kind of ground down the middle here to line up on those welds, and that really holds it nice and tight. Put a little bit of pressure on that nut, and I can't get this part right here to move at all. So here you got your little rubber seal. I don't know if I probably put a little bit of RTV when I go to install this. And kind of like everything I've been doing in this truck, this is not the final time this stuff will ever be together or taken apart. I'm trying to get all the systems working, get everything working the way I want it, and then I can bring it all, take it all apart, and you know, get it painted and get it finished up the way I want. I'm not even sure if I'm going to keep this bed. It's a nice bed, but it's not really for this truck, so I've got to come up with a Willys bed yet. But this is kind of the big thing I had to do here is I had to drill this out, so you can see I had to kind of take this top off too. And I needed to do that because the old knurled rod kind of slid over this and dropped the height. The new one doesn't do that, so I need to make up height somewhere. So by taking this part right here off, I was able to, you know, keep it relatively the same out of the cowl so that it looks very, very similar. So now it's going to be kind of another rinse and repeat. The only thing I need to do is create this one this way so that when it's all assembled, you know, one's going to be like this and one will be like this. And that's important if you want to keep the clapping feature, which the Willys trucks had. So if you're not so familiar and you're just watching along, most of the time on the Willys trucks, the wipers park here. So I guess I'll try to do that. They park here and then they swipe to the middle and then they go back and they park back low. And I want to keep that. And so they always called that clapping, because if you had both hands coming to the middle, they would kind of clap together. I kind of like the feature, so I want to keep that just because I can. Of course, I've incurred more cost doing that. Trying to retrofit the Cherokee wiper system probably would have been a lot cheaper because I already had the pieces, but I don't think it would have kept the originality. So I'm going to work on getting this other box kind of together, and then you know, bring you guys back as I kind of get going through a little bit more of this to figure this out myself, because you know, I'm learning just as well as you guys are. So give me a second here, and I'll get the other box finished up and we'll come back. All right, got some progress update. So got the bezels on here, got the cable through, and got the tube made. For my tube, I use about 16 inches between here and here. I think it's actually from the low to the high, yeah. And on that side over there, the kit says something about using 4 inches. I had like a 5-inch piece, so I just used it. I made sure to cut the cable just a touch short because they asked for 4, and they said run it out to the end, cut it off. So I ran it out and then made a mark and cut back just a little bit further. So got that all in there. Got the tubing. Let me see if I can get some light for it. Dang, even with the phone, can't quite get to the right angle. There we go. Got the tubing ran. You can see it's in the grooves like they asked for, and it's bent to the right spot. I found, let's see if I can get you up here where you can see, found taking the vents out was necessary. Gave you enough room to get that in, because that little short piece, the 16-inch piece, and even, no, I didn't put that in. So I put the 16-inch piece and the 5-inch piece together with the motor, the gearbox, and I put that all in together, slid it through the glove box here and up and over, and I got it put in place after I took the vents out, tightened up the bezels, and you know, got that set. Came back in and ran the last piece of tubing up into the gearbox, got it set, and it's loose right now because I got the motor hanging here. So the motor is hanging here. It's going to end up right here, just about like that. So I know it takes up a little bit of room in the passenger foot area, but heck, there's not that much room in this whole truck. So we got to give up somewhere. So we're back to, now we're getting real close to put the switch in. So this is the big switch it comes with. And I don't think, even with the center to center distance, you can see here, let me try to get that laid up there. You can see right here, if I had that centered up, it's gonna be too thick because it's extending into this area. But my truck had a hole right here already, so I think that's where it's gonna end up. Yeah, it's not that big of a deal to me. It'd be cool to have it up there, and the guy I'm following, his lead, he got some special 90-degree gearbox, and he mounted the switch, you know, in here sideways, and he put a 90-degree gearbox, and then it came out in this spot. And he has a machining center and a lathe and stuff like that. I don't have that kind of stuff, so I'm just gonna do it the way I can do it. I think it'll be just fine putting the wiper right here. I'm gonna be really excited to have wipers and have the ability to turn them on, you know, if it rains, more than, you know, having it in the exact location. This whole truck's not necessarily a restoration, it's a resto-mod, so just having the function is going to be really, really nice, and having something reliable. So of course I didn't have the vacuum power anymore, so I didn't have a way to do that, but I think this is going to be a great option. So that's the update right now. I'm going to try to get this kind of roughed in here and see how we get it going. So give me a few more minutes here, guys, and I'll come back to it. All right, folks, next day here. I was able to finish it up last night, but it got too late. I didn't feel like filming it. So this is what we ended up with. We got the motor stab down here and the gearbox and everything. And we have, now we've got, I'll move the radio. We've got a glove box and all that jazz. And I made a panel here to, it's this, I mean, obviously it's a radio delete panel, but it covers the switches and the cruise control and everything. And the big thing is now we've got wipers. I only have the driver's side on, but turn on the power. So here we've got the intermittent, and it's adjustable. And then we've got low. You can see that's this continuous run. And then we've got high. You just heard the cooling fan kick on from the last, I think that was the last episode on this, but I'm pretty happy with it. It gives the sweep. There's my help. It's watching. But the other one's moving. You can see the passenger side one is moving back and forth, but just gotta get the arm and the blade. I only had one blade left over from my truck, so I just ordered a set of blades. And I got the arm in the glove box, but I'm not going to put it on until I have a blade. So I think that's going to be the end of this. Say bye, Thomas.